get familiar. So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.
Hi students, so welcome back to the next video. So in this video I am going to discuss about the superposition of two plane polarized light. Okay, so the result of superposition of two plane polarized light. Clear? Now let us consider the experiment. Already we have discussed in the previous videos. So because to get the two plane polarized light, so what is the method experimentally, right? So if you start with the unpolarized light, okay, emitted from the source originally, emitted from the source is always considered as unpolarized light. So when it is passing through a nickel prism, so what happens? So it is split up into two parts. That means the light rays are having the two rays here. So one is considered as ordinary ray, the other one is the extraordinary ray. Okay, so both are polarized light here. So in that way we are getting one of the plane polarized light as extraordinary ray obtained from the nickel prism. Clear? So this kind of plane polarized light is afterwards allowed to fall on a calcite plate. Particularly there are two types of calcite plates. One is quarter wave plate, the other one is half wave plate. Correct? So we need a quarter wave plate for this experiment. Okay, to discuss the theory part. So now this plane polarized light is allowed to fall on the surface of the quarter wave plate. Okay, so on which we are considering the optic axis is parallel to the refracting surface. Okay, that means the refracting surface as well as the optic axis both are parallel to each other. Clear? And as you know, what is the function of this quarter wave plate? Once the plane wavefront is passing through this, you know that. So again we get the two plane polarized lights. Again we get the ordinary ray and extraordinary ray. Okay, so both are traveling in the same direction, but what is the difference here? The light rays are not traveling with the same speed. Okay, so velocity of the light is different. So we have to consider. So extraordinary ray. So extraordinary ray is nothing but here the elliptically polarized light, isn't it? Elliptically polarized light is always giving what kind of wavefront? Ellipsoid, isn't it? Three-dimensional ellipsoid. So ellipsoid is always advanced first with higher velocity. So whereas the sphere, okay, that means spherical wavefront is lagging behind the ellipsoid. And hence, so first advancing light is always extraordinary light with the ellipsoid. So it is moving like this. So immediately backwards of that, the spherical wavefront is following that. Okay, so they are moving in the same direction but with a different speed. So that is because of the phase difference. You know that. Okay, the phase difference. Depending upon the phase difference, so we can have the superposition of this ordinary and extraordinary ray. Then it gives the two types of waves. What are the two different types of polarized light waves? Either it may be a three types in fact. Okay, so plane polarized light, circularly polarized light, and elliptically polarized light also. Okay, it is possible to get all the three types of different types of polarized light waves in this experiment. Okay, so with what conditions, with what phase difference we have to get the superposition of the ordinary and extraordinary ray after exit from the calcite plate or quarter wave plate. So that theory part you have to discuss now in terms of equations. We know how to get the equations for the waves. Using that basic equation you have to derive, and finally you have to consider with what conditions, okay, we can get the plane polarized light, circularly polarized light, okay, and then elliptically polarized light. Clear? Okay, now after this experiment, so consider how we are considering the vectors here. So what is this A indicates? You know, so along x-axis and y-axis we have the two vectors. At the center we have the vector A. So this A indicates here the amplitude of the incident plane polarized light. That means here we are considering a plane polarized light wave as A. Its amplitude is equal to how much? A. And then after passing through the crystal, okay, we get the ordinary, extraordinary ray. Okay, so ordinary ray will have the amplitude is equal to A sin theta. So you can see that here. So A sin theta is the amplitude of the ordinary ray. Along it is considered that vector as PO along the direction PO, because it is consisting of the perpendicular vibrations, okay, to the incident ray. It is consisting of perpendicular vibrations, and then the extraordinary amplitude will be equal to how much? A cos theta. Okay, the resolved components will be A cos theta. So A is resolved into A cos theta into A sin theta after passing through the crystal. So A cos theta is the amplitude of the extraordinary. It is along PE. Okay, PO is the vector A sin theta for ordinary ray. Okay, A cos theta is the amplitude of the wave along, for the extraordinary. Okay, now let us start with the equation for the amplitudes of extraordinary and ordinary. So let the equation, simplified equation for amplitude as A first. Okay, that is equal to A cos theta. Okay, and what about for ordinary ray? This is for extraordinary ray. Clear? Then what about the ordinary ray? B is equal to, again it is A sin theta. So we get the equation for amplitudes like this. You can just take it as small a and small b. Is it clear? Okay. Then, so this kind of propagation of light waves can be considered according to simple harmonic motion. Okay, according to SHM, simple harmonic motion equations, basic equations. You can write the equation for the displacement of the vector as y is equal to, okay, that is b sin omega t. So where omega is the angular frequency here. So we are considering first ordinary ray here. So that is y is equal to b sin omega t. Okay. So the same equation I will write it as y by b is equal to sin omega t. So we got the equation for what? Y by b is equal to sin omega t here. Let it be. Now similarly, if we consider the extraordinary ray, so it is given by equation 1. A is equal to A sin omega t. So that is along x axis. I will write it as x. Displacement is along x axis now. So x is equal to now A sin omega t again, right? So the amplitude of that wave is A, small a. Okay. So now what we can simplify for this equation? See, I can write this equation with the phase difference of the first equation, because so omega t and omega t, if you write omega t for both the waves, then there is no phase difference. Okay, in fact the ordinary ray is having certain phase difference. It is lagging behind the extraordinary wave side. Okay, let us consider the phase difference. If the phase difference, so this is very important, if the phase difference, let us say phi is considered, then if phase difference is equal to phi, let it be phi, then the equation is A into sin omega t plus phi. So additional phase you have to add here. Okay, so then how do you simplify this equation? So this equation is looking like, I will write it as x by a as per this equation 3, y by b. Now this is x by a. So how do you write this equation? According to the trigonometric equation, let it be sin a plus b, sin of a plus b, isn't it? You can write it in that form. So how do you write that equation? Split form, sin a cos b, cos a sin b, correct? So sin omega t plus into cos phi plus sin a cos b, then cos a sin b, nothing but, so a and b are here, omega t and phi. So sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. In this form we can write this equation. Okay. What is the next step? See, now in this equation we can write the cos omega t, particularly cos omega t, as in terms of sine. How we can write it as? It is equal to sin omega t into cos phi. I will not disturb the first term of the equation. I will write only this in terms of sine. Okay. So we can write the square root of 1 minus sin square omega t into sin phi. Can write like that, correct? Since sin square omega t plus cos square omega t is equal to what? 1. right? So therefore, if I want only cos omega t, what we will do? So first we'll take cos square omega t is equal to 1 minus sin square omega t. So if I want only cos omega t, then you have to take square root. So that is why there is a square root here. Okay, square root of 1 minus sin square omega t into sin phi as it is in this equation. Clear? Okay. Now let it be, what is equation number 4? Clear? Now substituting the equation 3 in equation 4. Okay. So y by b is equal to what? Sin omega t. So wherever we have sin omega t in this equation, so you have to just substitute it as now y by b from equation 3. Clear? We'll start from this space again. Okay. So from equation 3, substitute in equation 4. So that is equal to x by a left hand side. Sin omega t, what you have to write? Sin omega t as sin omega t is equal to now y by b only. So just it is y by b into cos phi, correct? So yeah, substituted as y by b plus square root of 1 minus, again we have sin square omega t. Sin square omega t means we have to write now y by b whole square. Clear? Into sin phi. Okay, sin phi is outside this square root. Okay, let it be sin phi. Okay, correct. Now you see, so just substituted the sin omega t as y by b, here y by b whole square. That is the next step here. Okay, next you look at the simplification. So what simplification you can do now? So x by a is left hand side, so you take even y by b also in the left hand side, minus y by b cos phi is equal to, so left with only square root of 1 minus y by y square by b square, also you can write of course, into sin phi, right? Okay, then so how to simplify it further? So I want to eliminate the square root. Okay, if you want to eliminate the square root, you have to square on both sides, isn't it? Squaring on both sides. Squaring on both sides. So we get x by a minus y by b cos phi whole square is equal to, here you will get square root is eliminated, 1 minus y square by b square only left with the within the bracket into sin square, because square it is, so you should write it as sin square phi. Clear? Okay. So after this step, so we can again apply the trigonometric rule. So what the trigonometric rule says here now, look at the left hand side. So we have a minus b whole square. Okay, so just write down this as a minus b whole square split form. Split form of a minus b whole square is x by a whole square, a square that is, plus y by b, okay, cos phi, so I'll write it as y by b whole square cos square phi, minus, because there is minus signs, minus 2x by a into y by b into cos phi. Okay, so 2 times of x by a into y by b into cos phi. So that is the split form of a minus b whole square only, nothing else. That is equal to, okay, now multiply by this sin square phi to the each term right hand side, that is sin square phi minus y square by b square into sin square phi, where phi is the phase difference, multiply to each term like this. Okay. Now, what is the next simplification? Look at the terms. So we have sine square phi in the right hand side with a negative sign, and then cos square phi in the left hand side. So you take this minus y square by b square sin square phi. Here also y square by b square into cos square phi. If you take at one side, so you will get the simplification. X square by a square, okay, plus y square by b square. Inside the bracket, what you will get? Sin square plus cos square. Sin square plus cos square is equal to 1 only. Okay. So then minus 2 into x by a, y by b, cos phi. This term is as it is, I am writing. Then is equal to what? Left with only sin square phi in the right side. Is it clear? Okay. And then the simplified term is nothing but what? Just x square by a square, y square by b square. No need to write even 1 also here, right? So y square by b square with negative sign minus 2 times of the same term, x by b, y by b into x by a, y by b into cos phi is equal to sin square phi. Is that it? So this is what actually we want to discuss, the superposition of the two waves. Okay, because this equation, so I think equation number 4 is the equation of ellipse. Okay, the standard equation of ellipse. It is formed by two waves with the phase difference phi, and the two waves having the amplitude how much? One of the wave is having the amplitude A, the other wave is having the amplitude B. So when they superpose, so they should give a wave called ellipse. Okay, ellipse type of wave should be obtained as per this equation, mathematical equation with the phase difference phi. Okay, clear. Now, so with the help of this equation number 4, let us see the different cases how we can obtain the different types of polarized waves, special cases. So consider the case 1. So in this case 1, I will apply the condition that the phase difference phi. Suppose if the phase difference is equal to 0, okay, then 2 pi and then 4 pi, etc. So what do you mean by? So 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, nothing but 0 first one leave it, okay, second 2, 4, 6, etc. So that means even multiples of pi. Okay, we can take the values of even multiples of pi for the phase difference between the ordinary and extraordinary. So in this condition, okay, so how the equation reduces? So we have the cos phi and sin phi, right? So cos phi is equal to, first of all, so how much? Cos phi is equal to, is it 0 or 1? Cos 0, okay. Cos 0 cannot be equal to 0, so it should be equal to 1. So if cos 0 is equal to 1, then cos 2 pi also 1, cos 4 pi also 1, like that you will get. So this term cannot be 0. So whereas, what about sin phi? So when phi is equal to 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, etc. So this value will be equal to 0. Okay. Then look at the equation 4. So how it reduces? Here, so sin square phi is there, okay. So this term goes, because sin phi is 0, even sin square phi also will be equal to 0 only, okay. So left with cos phi is equal to 1. Then simplified equation is therefore from equation 4. So that is our reference equation, right? Standard equation of ellipse. How it reduces now? Equation becomes now x square by a square plus y square by b square. 2 into x by a, y by b is equal to 0, right? So as per this equation, look at the equation. This is again in the form of a square plus b square minus 2ab, correct? So you can write in that form. So that is x by a minus y by b whole square form it is. So yes. So therefore, even we can write it as, therefore x by a minus y by b should be equal to 0. Either it may be positive or negative, plus or minus x by a minus y by b, okay, should be equal to 0 because it is squared. You can take plus or minus both. Therefore, okay, so by taking y by b on the other side, so how do you write the equation for y? So y is equal to b by a, you will get b by a into x, right? So y is equal to b by a into x is a standard equation of what? Straight line. Equation of straight line only. So that means if you consider the variables x and y, okay, then this b by a is nothing but the slope of that line, isn't it? So intercept is 0, of course. Y is equal to mx plus c form it is. So if you forget the intercept part, so y is equal to mx is nothing but the straight line equation with the slope b by a. Okay, I will show it here. So if you consider a graph like this, okay, variations are along x axis and y axis, x and y like this, correct? So this slope must be like this. You can consider it as a vector, vibrating vector of the output. After superposition, again what kind of wave we are getting? It is a plane polarized light only, okay, with the positive slope as b by a, correct? So because along x axis we have a, along y axis we have b, so slope must be b by a. So this is the first case, getting the plane polarized light. Clear? Okay. So in the same case, okay, where we have the different phase differences as 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, etc. Okay. Suppose if I consider the phase differences as pi, okay, 3 pi, 5 pi, etc. So instead of even multiples of pi, now we will take odd multiples of pi. Odd multiples of pi. Let us see. So in the same case, if phi is equal to value of pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, etc. Correct? So cos phi is equal to minus 1, sin phi is equal to 0 with this substitution of value of phi. Okay. So now if you substitute now from equation 4, standard equation, so what changes you will get here? So x square plus a square, correct, plus y square by b square. So instead of minus, you will get here plus, that's it. Okay, because of minus 1, minus into minus plus. 2 into x by a into y by b is equal to 0. Clear? So this form of equation can be written as now x by a plus y by b whole square is equal to 0. Correct? So therefore plus or minus x by a plus y by b is equal to 0. Clear? So what is the equation for y? Simplified equation now. Y is equal to minus b by a into x. So again it is a straight line equation. Okay. But what is the slope? Slope of the line is now minus b by a only. Clear? So if we consider now the output of the wave with this condition, so in the graph we will get a slope like this. So we have to consider the x-axis and y-axis as it is. So we get a vector and b vector as it is. So this slope will be negative. So it varies like this. So this is the vector. Again it is also a plane polarized light, but vibrations are exactly opposite in phase with the pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, etc. Okay. So this is for even multiples of pi. This is for odd multiples of pi, phase difference. Clear? So next case is actually getting the elliptically polarized light case it is. So if it is possible, if we consider the, if phi values are equal to pi by 2 and it should be odd multiples of pi by 2, that means 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2, etc. Okay, in general 2m plus 1 odd numbers into pi by 2. For all these values, it is expected that the superposed waves should be elliptically polarized. Okay, now apply these values. You will get cos phi So cos phi means, let us say, first line. So cos pi by 2 is nothing but 90. Okay, cos 90 is equal to 0. Definitely it is 0, right? Then what about the sin phi? That is equal to 1 now, right? Now look at the equation 4. Okay, so in the equation 4 we have x square by a square plus y square by b square minus 2x by a into y by b into cos phi, isn't it? Because cos phi is equal to 0 here, so no need to write that term. Is equal to what? So right side we have sin square phi, so that is equal to 1. Okay, so that means it is just x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to only 1, right? Is equal to only 1 with these conditions. So this is again a standard equation for an ellipse, correct? The emergent wave from the quarter wave plate must be an ellipse. Okay, so vectors are again a and b along x and y axis. It forms an ellipse like this. So the tip of the vector is rotating in the anti-clockwise direction as per this equation. So again we have two types here, I will tell you. So ellipse may be rotating in clockwise direction also, like this also. Okay, so both are possible. So depending upon the value of phi, again the phase difference value must be. So as you consider, the phi is equal to particularly 3 pi by 2, okay, 7 pi by 2, etc. So in this condition you will get the negative rotating elliptically wavefront. Okay, whereas if you consider the values of phi as pi by 2, pi by 2, etc., you will get clockwise rotation of the elliptically rotating wavefronts. Yeah, it is elliptically polarized wave. Okay, now what is the third case? So it is also possible to get the circularly polarized light. Okay, so for circularly polarized light, what must be the phase difference? So these are all different possibility of the emerging wavefront depending upon the phase difference, and you have to remember that the phase difference depending upon what? Thickness of this quarter wave plate only. Okay, so one can vary the thickness to change the phase difference. Now suppose if phi is equal to, so we'll consider again pi by 2, okay, 3 pi by 2, etc., as it is, t pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. So this condition, okay, so when theta is equal to, so the condition is here, other than theta 45 degree we get the ellipse. Now we have to apply when theta is equal to exactly 45 degree to get the circularly polarized light. Okay, then the equation for A, so where we have the amplitude A into cos theta, so that is equal to now cos 45 degree. So this is equal to what you will get. So cos 45 degree is equal to 1 by root 2, you get A by root 2. Since cos 45 degree is equal to 1 by root 2. Yeah. And similarly, what is B? A sin phi. So that is also equal to A by root 2 only. Okay. No change in that. So what it implies? A is equal to B. Both the amplitudes are equal. Okay. Both ordinary and extraordinary waves are having the same amplitudes. A is equal to B. Okay. So then the equation 4. Okay. From equation 4, the standard equation of ellipse, it reduces to now x square by a square, right? X square by a square plus y square by b square was there. Okay. So entire term will be equal to just 1. Okay. With the values of phi. So of course we have to choose the particular values of phi for different rotation of the circular waves. Now this is the equation for what? Equation for a circle. So as we can reduce it, simplify it, where A is equal to B, it is equal to just x square plus y square is equal to 1, isn't it? So this is the equation for a circle. In fact, it is a square, where a square is the LCM. So by cross multiplication, x square plus y square is equal to only a square as an equation of circle. So if I choose the values of phi as 3 pi by 2 and 7 pi by 2, etc. So we can get the circularly polarized wave only, but in the anti-clockwise direction like this. So this is a circular, not elliptical. Clear? So like this, it rotates in the anti-clockwise direction. Similarly, if the value of phi is equal to pi by 2, pi by 2, etc., you will get the circularly polarized light again, but with the tip of the vector is now rotating in the clockwise direction like this. Okay, so these are again two possibilities in the circularly polarized light depending upon the value of phi, but both are circular only. Okay, as per this equation, so we have to get only circularly polarized light only. Superposition of two plane polarized light can give the three types of waves. One is plane polarized light, right, with two possibilities again. Either vector may be having the positive slope or negative slope, okay, depending upon that vibrations. Similarly, we have the another type of wave. What is that? Elliptically polarized light, in which ellipse consisting of the vector tip rotating in the anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. And similarly, the superposed waves may give the circular polarized light wave, right, as per this theoretical explanation. And again two possibilities, either the tip of the vector may be anti-clockwise rotating or clockwise rotating. So this is all the essence of the basic theory of the superposition of two polarized light waves. Okay, so experimentally this is obtained by two devices called Nicol prism and calcite quarter wave plate, right? What else? Clear? Thank you.